Welcome to Unews. I'm Carolina Sarassa, and thank you for being here with us. We began this hour with the ongoing crisis in Syria. It is day 3 of a Turkish offensive. That country is saying it is progressing successfully as planned, but the Trump administration might be taking actions to halt that plan. Claudia Uceda has more details from Washington. Claudia.
That's right. Turkish officials are saying that more than 300 Kurdish fighters are dead, but these numbers are not independently corroborated. Possible sanctions. President Trump is saying that it could be something very, very tough. Of course, it could be also economic sanctions. Now, back to you.
Thank you, Claudia, for that report. And now let's go to Jake Hanrahan. He's a freelance journalist who's been covering testimony today in Congress from the former ambassador to Ukraine. This, as the whistleblower now says they want to submit a written statement to Congress instead of testifying in person. Lorraine Casares has more.
Written copy of Yovanovitch's opening statement. She says she was removed based on false claims by people with questionable motives. She even told lawmakers that President Trump pressured the State Department to get rid of her. Meanwhile, the ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, who was blocked from testifying last week by the State Department, says he will appear before Congress next Wednesday. He is one of many people set to testify in the coming days. Carolina?
Thank you, Lorraine, for that report from our newsroom. And now stocks rallied on Friday after a report said China and the U.S. had reached a partial deal on trade. Bloomberg News, 1,000 students at the University of Florida rallied over a visit from Donald Trump Jr., a loud and rowdy crowd greeting them with verbal attacks and interruptions. Jorge Hernandez has the details on what these students had to say. And President Donald Trump rallied his base at a re-election campaign rally in Minneapolis. Tonight, a wildfire sparked outside of Los Angeles, growing quickly to thousands of acres. It has already destroyed homes and prompted mandatory evacuations. Salvador Duran is in Porter Ranch, California, with the latest. You have spoken to firefighters. What has been their reactions to you taking off power cuts? Meanwhile, more than half of Northern California residents who had their power shut off had it back Thursday nights. But up on Unews, you have much more. Welcome back to Unews. The explosive new book from Ronan Farrow, Catch and Kill, documents his reporting on the Harvey Weinstein scandal and the accusations of rape against Malauer. Baby Romo has all the details. Immigration news, we're now learning that a federal judge has just blocked the Trump administration's public charge rule from taking effect next week. The public charge rule would have denied legal permanent residency to many immigrants over the use of public benefits. The rule allowed the government to take a look at an immigrant's past use of things like Medicaid, food stamps, and house vouchers, as well as other factors to determine whether they could potentially become a public burden. Information that just came in to our newsroom. Now, in California this week, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law that will cap rent increases statewide. That legislation, an attempt to address the state's continuing housing crisis. As Azul Alvarez explains, a new report suggests that Latino households in California are having a particularly difficult time staying afloat. And the EPA is proposing the first major overhaul of federal regulations on lead in drinking water in roughly 20 years. This comes to the break. The family of a woman. Welcome back to Unews on this Friday. Authorities in Eureka, Illinois, filed first-degree murder charges against a minor who last April set fire to the house he was living in, killing several relatives. Carolina Rosario has the story. Now to New York, where the family of a woman who was allegedly hit by a car driven by her ex-partner in broad daylight was crying and is crying out for justice. Nayeli Chavez-Geller spoke exclusively with the victims' children, who say they will not rest until the police arrest their mother's killer. And we have more news after the break. Cubanesa Rehab Center authorities in Trinidad are describing as a modern-day slave operation. Now, disturbing details are coming out after a police raid that found dozens of patients were in horrific conditions. Roger Borges has the story. And up next, what is the... And welcome back to Unews. Have you ever wondered what is the dirtiest place in your house? Well, you might be scrubbing the wrong place. In today's Health Minute, Grecia Lastra fills us on the areas you should really be cleaning. Surprised about the coffee machine. I have to check that twice before drinking that coffee again. But after the break, I sit down with Danny Pino to discuss what it's like. Welcome back to Unews. He's a Miami native of Cuban descent, and he stars in some of the most popular shows on TV. Our own Media Maria sat down with Danny Pino to discuss playing a cartel boss and navigating through Hollywood as a Latino. Thank you, Miriam, for that story. And now actress Mindy Kaling has accused the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences to him. And that's all the time that we have for today. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Hasta lunes.